Hello, hello, hello. Can you? Ladies and gentlemen, this is your commentator Jacob Vasquez speaking. We're going to get into the game, starting off with a kickoff. It looks like we have Chaparral on the receiving team. And just giving some highlights to the head coach of Chaparral High School, Coach Trace Carroll. And it looks like for this game, he is going to be focused a lot on that passing game. It looks like it's been something that they have been practicing on, and it has only got better. And it looks like Westpoint's going for the kickoff. It's going out to the back. Receiver will be taken out of the end zone. Number 2 going down the right side of the field. And he will be tackled after plowing through a crowd, pushing for those extra yards. The exact type of gritty play that we expect from Chaparral High School. No, like I was previously saying, that passing game is going to be a big part of the offense that we see today. It is something that they have been practicing on, something that they are planning to use today to try to turn around some struggles that they had last year. However, Coach Carroll is not one that is scared of the run game. They're going to be starting off the first play. They're going to be in the shotgun formation, single back. Quarterback is scanning around the field, motions a guy back into the backfield, hike. Fake handoff, pass out to the left side. He's going to swing out. Looks like number 6 is running down the sideline. Finally gets stopped after a good gain of yards. It's a great play. It's going to be a first down. It looks like he's going to be on the opposition's about 34-yard line. They're going to be running the hurry-up offense. Once again, single back in the backfield. The ball is hiked. And it looks like he's going to be running back draw right down the middle, back to number 2. And for a decent gain. And it looks like Chaparral is going to be keeping up that fast-paced offense. Trying to push the pace on the defense, control the tempo is what they're looking to do. Hikes the ball, drops back, quarterback's looking to the right side. The ball is thrown. And it looks like it is caught. What will the ref say? And it looks like it's going to be marked as a completion. That is caught by number 13. And again, it looks like Coach Carroll is going to keep this fast-paced offense, trying to control the tempo and try to gas the defense out. Back into that shotgun formation, 2 backs in the back. It's going to be a fake to the right with a draw to the left, right down the middle. The running back is driving, pushing. What a great and aggressive run. It's going to be a first down. And it looks like the ball is going to be marked at about the 12-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10. Looks like they're running trips on the left-hand side. We have a running back in the backfield. The ball is snapped. Quarterback's looking to the left. Quick out route to number 9. And he's going to gain that first down, get to Chaparral Firebirds at about the 4 to 5 yard line. Let's see where the refs mark it down. It's going to be at about the 4-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal. Chaparral moving the ball very well, looking like it's going to be a mix of passing and the run game today. Trips left, calls a hike. Rolling out to the right side, the quarterback throws. And it looks like it is going to be complete. That is a touchdown for Chaparral Firebirds. What a great drive. It looked like they were able to really do anything that they really wanted out there, whether it was pass or run. What a great way to start off the game. Again, it looks like they're going to be relying on that pass game, but it looks like Coach Carroll is also going to be using the run game to try to open up that pass game. For Westpoint, it looks like they're going to have to be very disciplined on the defensive side this day. Looks like they're going for the field goal. The ball is snapped, kicked. And it looks like it is going to be good. Chaparral starting off with a 7-0 lead against Westpoint. With 9 minutes in, it looks like Chaparral's going to be pushing the pace, pushing the ball. And again, it looks like they're going to be playing that hard, nitty-gritty football that we've come to expect of them after watching a couple of their practices recently. Now, it looks like Chaparral's going to be going on to the special teams. Now, this is something that Coach Carroll has been really focused on trying to aim and work on as well, not just the offensive and the defensive side, but also on the special teams, trying to make every play count, to put every play in their side of the momentum of the game to try to get as many points and as many stops as possible. Now, Westpoint will be coming out on the receiving team. The ball will be kicked. It's in the air. Great kick. And it looks like it is going to bounce out of the back of the end zone. What a fabulous kick. It is going to be ruled as a touchback. Now, we have Chaparral on the defensive side. Now, just along with the offense of being nitty-gritty, trying to pound the ball while also being strategic with the passing game, it's kind of been the same story for the defensive side. They want to be explosive. They want to be able to break plays at the line of scrimmage, but they also want to be very disciplined, very strategic in stopping the pass game as well. It looks like Westpoint is going to be started with a single back in the shotgun formation, motions out the running back, drops back, quick screen to the right side, passes incomplete, just a little behind the running back. Chaparral doing a great job to blitz down the middle, get past the blocking, and put some pressure on that quarterback. Exactly what we're expecting. Again, Coach Carroll is really just trying to put as much pressure, and he's kind of just stayed committed to going 110% on both sides of the football. He doesn't want to let up on either side. Again, using every play as a way to build a momentum, to push points onto the board, and be successful in winning these games. And it's exactly what we're seeing as of right now. Westpoint is going to have to push, and they are going to have a bit of a struggle. They're going to have to kind of out-maneuver and also have more will to just push through the aggressive defense of Chaparral tonight. And it looks like the ball is going to be pushed back on Westpoint. It will be a penalty. They're going to be second down, pushed back to about the 7-yard line, their own 7-yard line. It looks like they're going to be going back into that shotgun formation. All right, number 5 looks like he's scanning the field. They have a single back in the backfield in the shotgun formation. They also have a tight end offset, and it looks like it is going to be encroachment on the defense. That will be a penalty on Chaparral. And Westpoint will be moving back to where they started. It will be second down, 5 yards forward. They are now on their own 13. Westpoint lining up back in that shotgun formation, single back with an offset tight end. Hiking the ball, looks like it's going to be a draw right down the middle. The running back pounds down the middle for about a gain of 6 yards. It looks like it is going to be third down in about 11. And it looks like Westpoint is going to be taking more of the typical approach, kind of huddling up, giving their guys time to rest. They're going to be back in that shotgun formation, one back on the right-hand side. The ball is snapped. The quarterback's looking to the right side. He tosses the ball up. He's going deep. And it looks like he's going to be incomplete. The ball was thrown out of bounds. just a little bit off target. However, Chaparral is doing a great job at sticking with him. Now again, Chaparral is one who does like to occasionally blitz and try to put the pressure on the quarterback. So we're going to see how the quarterback of Westpoint deals with that pressure and see if at any point the blitz starts to affect that offense. It looks like they're going to be lining back up in the shotgun. They're going to have a running back on both sides of the quarterback. 47 creeping in. The ball is thrown deep. Wobbly pass. Intercepted. Chaparral has intercepted the ball, and they're running down the right side. Number 6. It looks like they may be able to take it all the way. That is going to be a Chaparral touchdown. Walks into the end zone off of that interception. That is a pick 6. Chaparral will be up 13-0 against Westpoint with 9 minutes left in that first quarter. Again, it looks like the blitz of Chaparral forced the quarterback to make a hasty decision and try to force the ball out, which led to a wobbly throw, allowing the safety to run up and actually intercept the ball. It's exactly what we were expecting. Like we said, Coach Carroll is one who wants to put as much pressure on as possible and use every play to take advantage, and that's exactly what we saw right there. We're going to have the special team unit coming out. And look at the crowd, really excited for their team. What a great performance. What a great way to start off the first quarter. The ball is snapped. It's kicked. And it looks like the field goal is going to be good. That is going to be 14-0. Chaparral up with 8.5 minutes left in the first quarter. It is a great performance so far. A mix of not just the offense of running and passing, but the defense also putting on as much pressure as they can, staying very disciplined to where they have to be at, and just executing on all cylinders. We're going to see if Chaparral can keep up this momentum or see if Westpoint can maybe push back a little bit before it gets too late in the game. The special teams is going to be coming out. Westpoint will be receiving the ball. And we see that receiving team of Westpoint coming out onto the field. And it looks like Westpoint is going to have 2 receivers all the way at the back. See if they can make something happen. The ball is kicked, going down the field. And it's going to be bouncing in the back of the end zone. It will be another touchback. Great kicking. It's exactly what we were speaking to Coach Carroll. Is exactly what he was looking for. Is trying to amp up every aspect of this football team, trying to push as hard as he can, and we're seeing that with the special teams. The kicker is doing a great job of trying to keep the ball out of the hands of anybody and not allowing them really the opportunity to drive that ball and give their offense in a good starting position. We're going to have Westpoint back here in the huddle calling their play. We have Chaparral on the defensive side. Westpoint is going to be lining up. It looks like they're going to be staying in that shotgun formation. Chaparral's adjusting, making adjustments to the offense of what they're reading. Quarterback is looking around, single back in the backfield. And it looks like there is going to be a penalty on the play. And it looks like Westpoint just made a substitution. They're going to be back into their huddle. Once again, they're going to be in shotgun. Single back in the backfield. Snaps the ball. There's going to be a draw to the running back, number 3. Rumbling and tumbling for a couple yards right down the middle before he's stopped by Chaparral. A good run. However, although it was a good run, he did run into immediate contact. Chaparral doing a great job of trying to contain that run as much as possible. However, Westpoint doesn't seem to be giving in. They're going to try to keep putting that pressure on the defensive line and the linebackers, trying to see if maybe they can open something up for that pass game that they've been struggling with. Coming out of the huddle, lining up, looks like they have twins right. Going to be back in that shotgun formation, one running back in the backfield. Quarterback is looking around, snaps the ball, and it looks like it's going to be another give to the running back. However, he is met there right in the backfield by number 61. Great stop. Looks like he got to about the goal line or maybe a yard short of it. And again, this is what we're looking for. That D-line of Chaparral trying to push through that O-line and stop that run as much as possible. And we have the Chaparral defense waiting for Westpoint to line up, see if they can make any adjustments here. Westpoint's going to be lining up back in that shotgun formation with the one running back. They're going to have a tight end offset on the left-hand side. Looks like Chaparral might be bringing in some defense, and they're going to be coming in with a blitz. Hand off to number 3 to the right side, and it is going to... Oh, he breaks through the tackles, and he's breaking down the middle. He's speeding down the field. Would he be able to be caught? He is caught by number 21. And it's a fumble. It's been picked up by Chaparral, and they're bringing it the other way. What a crazy turn of events. It looks like number 3 had appeared to be caught at the goal line, broke the tackle, ran down to about the opposing 10-yard line, and got caught from behind and fumbled the ball where Chaparral was able to pick it up. However, there is a flag on the field. We'll see whether that's on the offense or the defense. This may be coming back. We see the refs here are talking it over, seeing what the flag is on. And it looks like we have coach on the field as well, trying to see what the call is. And it looks like the call will be on Chaparral. However, they will be maintaining the football here. So we're going to have Chaparral's offense coming out onto the field after a amazing recovery by the defense. However, they are going to be pushed back into their own 10, starting off in that shotgun with a single back. Quarterback is scanning the field. The ball is snapped. He's dropping back. And it was a handoff. Oh, he's swinging out. The quarterback scrambling to the right side, trying to get a couple yards to get out of that bad position. It looks like he does. However, he is pushed out of bounds by number 10. Great way to extend the play. Try to get a couple yards. Nothing too crazy that will cause their team to lose any benefit of that play.
Again, the play brings up 2nd and 5 for the Firebirds.
All right, Chaparral back in that shotgun formation. Looks like it's going to be a handoff to the running back right down the middle. He's breaking some ankles, stumbles, and he picks himself up, pushes forward. It looks like he's going to get the first down. What a great run to stumble, but also catch himself and make somebody miss. That is the type of running that we're looking for. Again, Chaparral isn't the biggest team. However, they do have the fight, and they do have the skill and bravery to compete with almost anybody. And we're seeing that right here today. And again, it looks like we're going to be back in that shotgun formation. Dropping back, ball was thrown, and it is caught. What a great catch. He broke tackles, and now he's running down the sideline. And he goes all the way. What a great play. What a throw. What a catch. What a way to break the tackles and break off down the sideline. That is going to be the second touchdown of number 9. Not only on the defensive side, but also on the offensive side. Is exactly the type of plays that he is known to make. The score is 20-0. Chaparral's going to be back going for another field goal. And the kicker is standing back, lining it up. The ball was snapped. It's kicked. And it is good. Chaparral is up 21-0 over Westpoint with still 6:45 left in the first quarter. And look at the crowd having some fun, cheering their team. So excited to see such a great performance from some of their classmates and also the parents in the crowd as well having some fun. It's great to see just a community around this team. And this is going off of the Chaparral High School team. This is really something that the community was hoping that Coach Carell could bring to this team. Like I said previously, they did have some struggles last year on both sides of the ball. However, with Coach Carell having such an extensive resume and so much coaching experience, this is exactly the type of performance they were hoping for on opening night. And it just shows that Coach Carell is a calm and collected leader, and he can very well turn this team around and push them towards a very successful season. And they're going to be lining up. Chaparral kicks the ball back to Westpoint. And again, the ball is going to be out of the back of the end zone. There will be another touchback. Great kicking performance today. Not allowing the receiving team to get any type of chance to return the ball. And also very great on the field goals as well, going 3 for 3 so far.
Also the Blessing Law Firm, Scottsdale's personal injury law firm. Handlebar J's, Scottsdale's original lib house. They're a longtime supporter of the program. Stop by for
now with his dominant performance, just going into some of Coach Carell's credentials, he's been the coach of 3 state championship teams, 3 state runner-ups, and 4 Division I quarterbacks. He has much experience and knowledge to work in this team and is very showing today. And right there, Westpoint is going to go from the shotgun formation, run the ball down the middle, gain a couple of yards, but still be stopped by Chaparral. Good game on the play.
Archuleta. Martinez on the quarterback keeper, penalty marker now.
All right, and it looks like there was another run there by Westpoint, pushing the ball forward, just getting any yardage that they can. Now, if they want to stay in this game, this is going to be the time to make that move. However, Chaparral has been doing very well on both the offensive and defensive side, pushing Westpoint as hard as they can. However, it looks like the ball will be moving forward. And it is going to be a first down for Westpoint. It will be 1st and 10. 6 minutes left in the first quarter. And from what we've seen, Chaparral is trying to push the pace. However, Westpoint is not allowing them to try and tire them out. They're staying at their game plan. They're sticking to it, and they're not allowing Chaparral to kind of push them out of their element. They're trying to get back into this game, and I think that might be the best way to do it, is to just keep your pace, keep your head. Don't allow the game to throw you off. Keep pushing, and the ball is snapping. It looks like there's going to be a flag on the field. And it looks like it is going to be a false start. Chaparral waiting on the defensive side. Westpoint lining up the ball after being pushed back off of that penalty. They will be lined up in the shotgun formation. Chaparral adjusting, and it's going to be a draw right down the middle. Number 3 cutting to the outside. However, he is met with nothing but red jerseys, tackling him down on the floor after a gain of about 3 to 4 yards. Again, there is a potential for Westpoint to get back into this game. They did have that big run towards the end. It did result in a fumble after being caught from behind. However, they do have that big play potential, so there is a chance to still be in this game. And it looks like they're going to be at 2nd and 11 after that first play. It's been a pretty eventful game so far. Westpoint stepping up to the line. Again, back in that shotgun formation with the single back on the left side. Quarterback scanning the field is going to send somebody in motion across to the left. Drops back, looking down, and there's too many people in the backfield. What a blitz by Chaparral, getting a sack. Number 12, getting the play, making it happen. And again, this is exactly what we expected from Chaparral. Bring the blitz, bring the pressure. Again, Coach Carroll is not scared to take a risk here and there if it means that it could give him some points on that board and move that momentum in his favor. Westpoint, it looks like they're just struggling. You know, they're not really adapting to the blitz. They're not picking up the targets that they need to pick up on the defensive side, and it's just a struggle. If they continue this much into that second half, it could get too out of reach. Right now is their chance to get that momentum back on their side, try to push the game in their favor. They need one big play. That's all it takes in football, really, is one big play to make it happen. They're going to go trips right, single back in the backfield. However, it looks like there will be a timeout by Westpoint. They are at about 3rd and 18. They're going to need a big gain here to get that first down. Coaches come out onto the field, getting a chance to talk to their guys. It looks like Westpoint's coach really wants to just get a chance to see if they can make something happen on this big play here. Again, right here is the chance to swing the momentum. All you need is one play to bring it back. If they get stopped here and Chaparral's able to get one more touchdown before that first quarter, it could push the game just out of reach. However, crazier things have happened. Chaparral needs to keep their foot on the gas. They can't let up. That's going to be the big thing we see here, right? Coach Carroll has been very on his players about staying disciplined, staying true to the game, and taking every play at 110%. However, we want to see that into that second half, that the players don't let up, that they stay disciplined, and that they keep pushing the pedal to the metal, right? We don't want to give any chance of Westpoint coming back and giving into the game. That's going to be their mentality, is that we need to stay on it. Westpoint right now is that they need to just get that one spark and keep pushing the ball down the field. And they're going to be breaking from the timeout, getting back into their formation. Is going to be that trips right, single running back in the backfield. They're going to be running trips right to the tight side. The quarterback drops back, quick out route. And it is going to be caught, but only for a small gain. Oh, my apologies. That was an incomplete pass. They're going to be stuck at that 4th and 17. It looks like they are bringing the special teams unit out to punt the ball away. Special teams unit on the side. Westpoint keeping the ball off the Chaparral. Now, this is where we're going to see. Coach Carroll said that he has been trying to stress and put some. And the ball is kicked, and it is kind of a squib kick. It was quick and rush. They're going to let the ball roll back. Westpoint's going to let the ball roll. It was going to roll to about the 28-yard line. For a rush kick, it was still pretty solid. Push Chaparral back away from the end zone that they're trying to reach. Puts their defense in a much better position to stop Chaparral and hopefully get a turnover for their team.
Sponsors, let's show some love to Scottsdale Maserati. Remember, the dream is free, but the reality is sold at Scottsdale Maserati. House of Diamonds, likewise, dream a little bit. If you can dream it, they can make it. House of Diamonds. Phoenix
It looks like there is going to be a penalty on the field. It is going to be an illegal face mask. It looks like it's going to be against Chaparral is what it looked like they said. And it is going to push them back even further into their own territory. Just a mistake that you really don't want to see, right? Now it puts your offense in a much more inconvenient position. Now their offense has been doing great today. However, like I've been stating, all Westpoint needs is that run play, and putting your offense in such an uncomfortable situation, it could lead to something like that. However, we'll see on this next play. Quarterback's going to snap the ball. He's dropping back. Quick dump down to the running back, number 6 on the right-hand side. Go ahead and truck that defender. However, he is still brought down. Great decision from the quarterback. Great throw, great catch, great execution. Great tackle by Westpoint to not let the running back break out into the open field and gain more yards. All right, it looks like they're going to be back into that shotgun formation. Little miscommunication, moving the running back over to the left side. Quarterback's going to snap the ball, and he's going to keep it. It's a fake draw. He's running out to the left side, makes somebody miss, and he's down the sideline. And that is definitely going to be a late hit. Flag. That would definitely be unnecessary roughness on the defensive side. Hit the quarterback as he was going out of bounds. That's just a mistake that Westpoint really can't handle right now. That's something that the players have to stay disciplined with. No matter where the game goes and how frustrated you get, you have to stay disciplined, especially in a situation like this where you're already down. The quarterback did take a fall over the opposing team's bench. However, it looks like he is going to be okay. That's great to see. We have the refs discussing about the penalty, talking about what happened, making sure that it was an unnecessary roughness and late hit.
Penalty holding against the Firebirds.
Okay, it looks like there's going to actually be penalties on both sides of the football. There's going to be a holding on the offensive side on Chaparral, and then there is going to be an unnecessary roughness on the Westpoint. That is still going to give Chaparral a first down. They will be moving down back to the first. It'll be 1st and 10, Chaparral side. Again, that could have been very costly for Westpoint. They got lucky there with the holding from Chaparral. Back into that shotgun formation. Gets the ball back. And it's going to be another keep. However, the quarterback this time was caught in the backfield. The defensive end was ready for number 51, making the tackle on Westpoint. Great read by the defensive end. So what we saw there for number 51 was he got in the backfield, he planted his feet, and he made sure to maintain his area. He got close enough to where the quarterback couldn't give it to the running back, and he stayed disciplined on the football to where the quarterback really couldn't break out to that outside either. Next play, starting the ball is going to be snapped. The quarterback's dropping back, looking for somebody. Throws the ball down to the outside. It's going to be a catch, and number 13 breaks the tackle, keeps his balance, and moves forward. It looks like that will be a first down. What a great play by the wide receiver there. 51 was in the backfield, close to hitting the quarterback. However, he kept his composure and made that throw. Again, this is the discipline that we were expecting from Coach Carroll to teach his players to understand that sometimes you have to be nitty and gritty and take that pain to keep the ball moving forward. The ball is snapped by the quarterback, drops back, scrambling, doesn't find anybody, and he is going to be caught at the line of scrimmage. However, he does push forward for about a yard. Looks like nobody was able to get open on that play. Westpoint's defense was able to stay on those wide receivers, and the linebackers were able to meet him at the line of scrimmage, scrambling out to the outside. The ball is going to be at the opponent's about 47-yard line. Chaparral moving the ball well. Back into that shotgun formation. Offset tight end on the right side. Quarterback scanning the field. Hikes the ball. Looks like it's going to be a draw to the running back to the right side. Number 2 moving. And look at him drag those Westpoint players. Just chugging the feet. Moving forward. And it looks like that's going to be a gain of about 9 yards. What a great run right down the middle. And it looks like we do have a player down on the field for Westpoint. There will be an injury timeout. We're going to clear the field and make sure that he is okay. We have the athletic trainers checking him out. We're going to make sure that he's okay before we resume play. Wishing nothing but the best. Hopefully that he is able to recover, take some plays off, and come back into this game. And he was able to stand and walk off the field. That is great. That's exactly what we see, you know. Football is a very contact and physical sport. However, you never want to see somebody get hurt. All the football athletes on the field know how hard it is to train for this sport, know how hard it is to work as hard as you can to be out on that field. It was great to see him get up off the field and make it back to the sideline. Hopefully, like I said, he'll be okay and be able to make it back to this game. Going back to the play, Chaparral's back in that shotgun formation, one back in the backfield. Looks like there may be a safety blitz from Westpoint. Looks like he's feinting. Chaparral's quarterback's going to make an adjustment and actually move the running back down to his right side. Scanning the field, drops back, gets the ball, looking open, throws the ball deep, and is going to be incomplete, just slightly underthrown. Is going to be blocked by the cornerback, number 29. Great decision by the quarterback. The play was open, just a little underthrown. And that happens in these games. Sometimes it's just some miscommunication. The timing's a little bit off. However, it wasn't a bad decision at all. And it looks like the team is going to be bringing out. They're going to be staying on offense. It looks like Coach Carroll's actually going for it on 4th and 1. Dropping back, giving it to the running back, letting him get some space. He cuts back down to the middle to the left side and gets a first down and way more. What a run. A risky call by Coach Carroll, especially with being up this early into the game, 21-0. He said, 4th and 1, you know what, let's go for it. My guys are playing really good. I'm confident in my team. Let's run for it. And that's exactly what Coach Carroll has been showing in practice and telling us that he's really going to try to push his players into that uncomfortable zone and take some risk because he believes in his team, his players. There's going to be a drop down screen to the left-hand side. Number 8 is going to catch it, run it up for about 9 yards. May possibly be a first down. And what we've seen surprisingly a lot from Chaparral this game is that it's not just deep pass attempts down the field. They're also running a lot of screens and swing out routes to the side and letting their players use their skill and athleticism to pick up those extra yards. And it's actually working this game. Doing a really great job of running the offense. Quarterback drops back, he fakes it, rolls out to the right, catches, throws it to a pass, 22 catches the ball, and he rumbles and tumbles down into the end zone. That is a touchdown by Chaparral, number 22. It is going to be 27-0. What a great play. What we saw there is a play action. What the quarterback did was he faked the handoff from the running back, a draw right down the middle, made the defense bite, and he rolled out to the right side, found the fullback actually rolling out on a swing out play wide open. And he was able to use, again, a bigger body, able to use that athleticism to just rumble and tumble down into the end zone. Special teams unit coming out, kicker lining up the field goal. And he will kick it. And it looks like the field goal is going to be good. 28-0 with 9 seconds in the first quarter. What a dominant performance by Chaparral so far. Again, not just on the offensive side, we also have to remember that not only was there that fumble previously in the game from a linebacker not giving up on the play and hawking down Westpoint's running back, there was also a pick six, an interception, brought all the way in their own territory, all the way for a touchdown. It just seems like every cylinder in Chaparral was just firing perfectly today. And look at this crowd, just so excited. We saw all eyes on Coach Carroll for this first game. Him coming in and trying to turn this program around. He's starting off with a bang, opening night. This is amazing to see for their first game. But remember, there's still 3 quarters of football to play. They have to stay on it. They have to stay dominant. They can't let their foot up off the gas. You see the kicker dropping back. Chaparral kicking off to Westpoint. And there goes the ball. And what a boot all the way down to the back of the end zone again. It's going to be another touchback.
Baker's kickoff makes its way to the end zone for a touchback. Dragons take over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
And Chaparral has just been showing all the little tricks that we've been expecting from Coach Carroll. Being very disciplined on both sides of the football. However, being very risky when it comes to blitzes and also being risky on that 4th and 1 that we saw. Again, they've been very dominant this game, but for the coach to have trust in his team to get that for sure. Not only that, but be able to run so many play actions and let his quarterback just kind of read the field, make decisions to make big plays. You can tell that they really trust each other and that they put a lot of work and dedication into learning these new formations and learning these new plays. And it looks like Westpoint's going to swing out. It's going to be a quick swing out route to the right. However, the wide receiver is not paying attention to the quarterback. Just quick miscommunication. Quarterback threw it too quick. It's going to be incomplete in the backfield. Westpoint back in their huddle, trying to figure something out. They really just need one big play to make something happen. Looks like they're going to be lining back up into that shotgun formation. They're going to have a bunch trips on the right-hand side, single back in the backfield. Chaparral making adjustments and communicating. And it looks like that may be a false start. Westpoint try to claw on 2, but it looks like their guys jump, not the defense. And it is. It's going to be a false start on Westpoint. That's going to push them even farther back into their own territory. Again, little mistakes like this may not seem too much. However, little things like this, 5 yards to 10 yards, can really change the whole game for you, especially when you're already down. Westpoint going to be coming back out. Shotgun formation is going to be a pitch to the outside, the running back running down, breaking a couple of tackles, moving forward. And there is going to be a pile. It looks like he may have lost the football again. And it looks like Chaparral caused the fumble and recovered the football. That's going to be the second player. That's going to be the second time that running back on Westpoint has fumbled the ball this game. And it looks like we do have a Westpoint player down on the floor. And it looks like the trainers are going to be coming out onto the field to make sure he is okay. It looks like something in his leg might have cramped. I believe that's what it could be from the way he's moving. However, we'll wait and see. And again, hopefully nothing too serious of an injury. Hopefully he could kind of just take some plays off, recover, and make it back to this game. Going back to the previous play, what we did see is the running back of Westpoint is his second fumble. However, oddly enough, both of those fumbles have come off of really good runs. Even this current fumble right now, he was rumbling and tumbling right down the middle. He broke a couple of tackles and he just lost the ball. It will be the end of the first quarter. And like I said, we're just waiting to see and hopefully make sure that that Westpoint player is okay. Again, just basing off of his movements, the way he's reacting, it looks like it might just be a cramp. From what I can see, it looks like the athletic trainer might just be massaging his calf, trying to get him to ease up a little bit. Again, hopefully he's okay to come off the field. It looks like he's just trying to relax right now. All right, looks like he continues to stretch. And, you know, let's always just give a big shout out to our athletic trainers. They work so hard to keep these athletes healthy and on the field. As we've seen today, they're doing their best to just keep their athletes as healthy as possible, making sure that all their needs are taken care of. Kind of reviewing back through the game, it is 28-0 in the first quarter. Chaparral is up 28-0 over Westpoint. And it's been a mixed bag from Chaparral. They've had a pick six. They've had 2 offensive touchdowns, well, 3 offensive touchdowns. My apologies. However, their defense has been contributing quite a bit. There's been 2 fumble recoveries from the defense, and they haven't made too many mistakes. I believe they've had about 2 penalties this game so far. Just an overall dominant performance from all sides of the football, even the special teams as well. The kicker making sure that Westpoint has no chance to get a big play possibility, and even the field goal kicker doing a great job of making every single field goal right through the uprights. We're seeing every player just rush to the ball, be dominant, give their 410%, and it's really showing on the scoreboard as well. And the Westpoint player is up. He's walking off the field himself. That is a great sign. That is exactly what we want to see. Best wishes to him, and hopefully he can come back into this game and remain healthy. Really great to see that he's off the floor, walking back to the sideline. And we will be getting back to the game. It will be the start of the second quarter. Chaparral is going to still be on the offensive side. They're going to be on Westpoint's 22, it appears. It'll be 1st and 10.
On behalf of Chaparral High School, we want to thank Honor Health for your commitment to our students.
They're going to be going in the shotgun formation. 3 wide receivers on the right side with a single back. Quarterback hikes the ball, fakes the pass, however, and he does a dump down right to the running back on the left side. He's going to make a couple of guys miss, and that is going to be another touchdown. However, there is 1 flag on the field. Now, it could be something to do with the quarterback, because what I did see was that before he dumped the ball off, there was 3 defensive linemen in his face. It will be a touchdown. Chaparral will be up 34-0. What a great play. What great control from the quarterback. He had 3 defenders right in his face as he was dropping back, and he had the consciousness to see his running back open in the flats, dump the ball off to him real quick, and let him get to work. And get to work, he did. Broke a couple of ankles, breaking some tackles, and just running into that end zone. We're going to have the special teams out, kicker lining it up. The ball is hiked. The ball is kicked.
Baker's extra point attempt is good.
And it looks like the field goal is good. It's going to be 35-0. Chaparral up against Westpoint. And again, let's just go back to that play and just talk about what a great decision that the quarterback made. He really just dropped back, allowed the defense to corral him and bring that pressure in to give his running back more space to just be open in the flats right there. All he did was just dump the ball over the D lineman, let the running back have enough space to just get to work. The running back was able to find perfect gaps to just cut back and take it down to the end zone. Also, big props to the wide receivers. From what I saw, they all turned around, made a really great block to allow that running back to just find an open gap, get into that end zone, and put some points up on the board. Really was just a great team effort tonight that we're seeing from Chaparral. Just sticking to their assignments and being very disciplined. We will have Chaparral back out on the kicking team. Westpoint will be receiving.
Let's go Marino and number 33. Anthony Gouveia back deep to the Dragons. Penalty for
And it looks like Chaparral is... Looks like the refs are going to be moving them forward, it appears. And it looks like that previous penalty was actually on Westpoint and not on Chaparral, allowing them to move the ball all the way up. Oh, hold on. It looks like there was another stoppage by the refs trying to figure out where the ball was going to be at. Just a slight bit of confusion, just trying to figure out what is going on right now. So the kicking team is currently on the opposing team's 35. However, the refs are communicating. We may see that kick be moved back. Yes, it looks like instead they're going to be moved back to the opposing team's 45. So they'll be on Westpoint's 45, where Chaparral will be kicking from. With how this kicker's been performing today, most likely he's just going to boot it out the back of the end zone. However, we'll see what Chaparral is going to do. Running up to the ball, they're kicking the ball back to the end zone. And as expected, kicker just launching it out of the back of the end zone is going to be another touchback. Westpoint will be starting at the 25.
Quick shout out to a couple more sponsors. I love this one. Rusty Nail Meats. They're your hometown butcher. They're right down the street. You walk in here, they got some amazing meats for you. That's Rusty Nail Meats. How about Earnhardt Auto, proud sponsor this season. We serve your local communities. Shop local at nobull.com for all your automotive needs. That's Earnhardt Auto Center.
And Chaparral on the defensive side really have just been doing their thing today. Again, just trying to push the pace just on offense. They've really been bringing in blitzes, trying to be fast and push the pace. We have Westpoint in shotgun, halfback behind him. It looks like he's going to push the ball to the outside, let the running back get down the middle. He's going to move uphill. He's going to gain about 6 yards on the play. What a great run. Decided to not take it to the outside. He cut upfield and was able to run straight through the middle, pick up a couple of yards. It's exactly the type of play that we want to see from Westpoint at this point in the game. And it looks like Westpoint is going to keep trying to pound that ball up the middle. Coach Brian Walker is not going to stray from his strategy. He's trying to run the ball right down the middle, push the ball, get as many yards as he can, and open up that passing game. They're going to be back in shotgun and have trips bunch on the left side. Quarterback's going to take the ball, drop back, throw over the middle. It's going to be incomplete. Just a little bit too low for the wide receiver. However, it was a great read by the quarterback. I think they'll definitely come back to that again. And the quarterback is going to be heading to the sideline to speak to the coach, get the next play, going to huddle up and figure out what they're going to do. I would recommend sticking to plays like that. That seems to be the best thing working for them right now, is short down the middle passes. That may be the best option for them to get back into this game. Although they do want to remain that running team, that hard-nosed, run the ball down the middle, they are short on time and they are down by quite a bit. They may want to start opening up the passing game and try to just let their wide receivers just get open in the open field and get some running. And there goes a running back pitch to the left side. He is going to break a couple tackles, keep moving forward. However, Chaparral crowds him and they are driving him back. Just a sea of red jerseys from the defensive side. However, it looks like Westpoint did get the first down. And they will be lined up on their own 35. It'll be 1st and 10 on their own 35. And Westpoint has had a good running game so far in this game. It just, they had 2 unfortunate fumbles. However, their running back outside of those fumbles has played very efficient and very aggressive this game. It looks like they're going to go right back to him, driving the ball right down the field. It's going to be a gain of about 2 yards. Chaparral expecting him that time, and the linebacker's dropping down to make that tackle. And that Westpoint running back really doing just a great job of tucking his nose down, keeping his feet moving and dropping the shoulder wherever he needs to. That can be really tiring on a defense to just keep pounding the ball and keep running. However, with how Chaparral is crowding the ball with their team, it could also be really stressful on the running back. We're going to see what they choose to do here. They're going to go again, another run right down the middle. It is going to be for a gain of about 3 yards. It's going to be about 3rd and 4 here. for Westpoint.
Number 61, Trent Dunn.
However, if they keep moving the ball like that on runs, they could just keep pounding the ball down the field and try to keep scoring. We're seeing that Westpoint's quarterback is speaking to the ref about something. Not entirely sure, but he's heading back to the huddle now, giving the play to his guys. It looks like Chaparral's defense is making some adjustments, just trying to figure out how to stop this run game. Again, they're going to run trips bunch on the left-hand side for Westpoint, single back in the backfield, snapping the ball, pitch out to the left side. The running back's going to cut up the field, drop the shoulder, and run forward, picking up that first down and a couple more. Again, he's had a really good game today. Outside of those 2 fumbles, he's actually been running very well. If he could keep up this performance, he may as well be in for 100 yards for this game. And it looks like there is going to be a timeout. Westpoint defense coming in, the defensive coordinator is going to just try to speak to his guys and remind him to stay disciplined to the pass. However, they have to be aggressive enough to stop the run. It looks like Westpoint's starting to pick some momentum up on that run in the second quarter here. Again, it's not entirely too late to get back into this game, and Chaparral has to stay disciplined. They don't want Westpoint to get some momentum and be able to carry that out into their defense as well. They want to keep the pedal to the metal, keep it pushing, and try to stop Westpoint right here. However, on the opposite side, Westpoint really needs to get us some points on the board here, even if it's strictly from a field goal, just to get something going. It does look like that running game is starting to come together. It could be that the offense is starting to warm up. However, it could be that since Coach Brian Walker has been sticking to his game plan, it could be that the run game is starting to get to the defense a little bit, starting to put some stress on them. And the running back has been doing a great job of just dropping the shoulder and trying to run forward as hard as he can. They're going to be coming out onto the field. There's going to be 7 minutes left in that second quarter. And it looks like they're going to be running a bunch trips on the right-hand side. There's going to be single back in the backfield again for Westpoint. Snapping the ball, and he's going to fake him. It's going to be a quarterback rollout. However, he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Chaparral just brought too many guys into the backfield and met the quarterback there. Tried to fake a draw right down the middle to see if the defense would bite on the running back, considering he's been doing so good this drive. However, they stayed disciplined. They were ready in the backfield and able to hawk down that quarterback. However, he also did a great job of not taking a sack, being able to get the ball. Only a 1 yard loss on that play, but was able to get the ball slightly back to that line of scrimmage. It's going to be 2nd and 11 for Westpoint. Going right back in, they're going to have twins on both sides. It's going to be doubles in that shotgun formation. Single running back gets the ball dropped back. However, there's a blitz. There's just too many guys. The quarterback runs down the middle. However, he is sacked by number 4 of Chaparral. What a great blitz scheme was. And Chaparral just brought 3 extra guys into that backfield, and they were just there as soon as the ball was snapped. The quarterback for Westpoint really had nowhere to go. He was able to bring it forward and escape about a 5 yard sack, but still getting sacked for another yard. It is now 3rd and 12 for Westpoint. It looks like they were trying to go for a pass play there, but their pass protection has just been falling apart when it comes to the Chaparral blitzes. I think what we need to see is maybe leaving a running back there for Westpoint and just allow an extra blocker to be back there for the quarterback and kind of just run some quick short routes just to have someone be open for the quarterback so he could dump it off. Kind of like what we've seen from Chaparral today.
Timeout, Westpoint.
It looks like there's going to be another timeout. It looks like Coach Brian Walker is going to want to talk to his guys a little bit. They were starting really good this drive. However, it looks like Chaparral started bringing in some blitzes and put some pressure on the offense. Again, exactly what we expected from Coach Carroll of Chaparral High School, just putting some pressure in very unorthodox ways, bringing the blitz. maybe faking the blitz and going into double coverage. Just trying to put as much pressure and show as many different schemes as possible in front of the West Point quarterback and really make it difficult for him to get into a rhythm, which is exactly what they've done. We have 6 minutes left in the second quarter.
Johnny T's Brooklyn Pizzeria. Brooklyn just sounds like a great place to make pizza.
And the defense is going to be coming back out onto the field. Again, looking very efficient in these last 2 plays. We're going to see if they can stop them right here. It is 3rd and 12 for West Point. We're going to see what they bring out. It looks like they're running twins right. They have a tight end offset on that right side, single back in the backfield. The quarterback scanning the field. Snaps the ball, looks back, throws a quick drop off to number 4 in the backfield. He's going to break a couple tackles, however, gets stopped with about a 1-yard gain. Was able to break 1 tackle in the backfield, however, the cornerback number 20 was able to come right down the field and make that good, efficient tackle. It's going to be 4th and 9. It looks like West Point is going to be going for it, which at this point in the game, I think that's the best option for them. I think as of right now, with the score of where it's at, this is the time for West Point to take a chance, try to get that first down, and really try to get some momentum onto their side. Not only has Chaparral done a great job on the field, however, their crowd has been really good, along with their banners cheering and putting that external pressure onto the team off of the field as well. Not many people acknowledge how much more difficult the game could be mentally when you have such a loud cheering squad on your side. West Point dropping back. There's going to be people in the backfield. The quarterback is scrambling, trying to get free, and he's going to stumble and be caught by number 31 in the backfield. There's going to be an enormous sack. The West Point quarterback really was just trying to scramble and get out of there. There's just too many people in the backfield, and Chaparral was able to catch him and hawk him down, get that foot, and trip him up. Great defensive series in those last 4 plays by Chaparral after having the ball ran on them for 2 consistent first downs. What a great recovery on the defensive side. And their offense is going to be coming back out. When he trips right in a spread formation, drops back, hands the ball out to the running back, makes a defensive end miss, and dropping that shoulder and just running forward. He will be tackling number 6. However, what a great run. There was a defensive end right in the backfield as soon as he got the ball, and he just cut and made him miss. And that's really just what we've been seeing all day from Chaparral today, just everything going their way. West Point struggling to just make something happen on that defensive side. It's going to be the same formation. The quarterback drops back, rolls out to the right side, throws the ball out. It's going to be a quick short throw. However, he was met right after the catch. It's only going to be for a 1-yard gain. However, great pocket maneuvering from the quarterback. He saw the DN come too far forward into the pocket and just said, you know what, I see a gap. Let me just roll out here right to the right side and make a quick throw. It is going to be about 3rd and 4 right here for Chaparral. And they're going to have 2 fullbacks in the backfield for their running back. It looks like they're going to run the ball. It's going to be a counter to the left-hand side. However, there's West Point in the backfield. He makes a miss, runs over somebody, and gets that first down. What a great run. So shifty, yet so aggressive. And that's exactly the type of running that we've seen from Chaparral. Just pure athletes on their team. Coach Carell trying to give them space to let them get active on that field as much as possible. Going to send a guy in motion to the left side. Quarterback's going to drop back, scan the field. Quick out, and oh, it's a hook and ladder. What a great play. A little bit of trickery from Coach Carell here. So they sent a guy. So what happened here on this play was they had a tight end on the right side. They had him motion out onto the left side. The quarterback threw a screen to the outside wide receiver on the left. And what he did was he pitched the ball back to the tight end. The defense bit on the first guy that caught the ball, and the tight end was able to take it all the way to the end zone. What a great trick play. And the hook and ladder, something that's very rarely used, but when used correctly is very effective, as we just saw. The score is 41-0. Special teams out, kicks the ball. And it is good. 42-0. Chaparral just being able to dominate on every play. Westpoint really needs to kind of get together and collectively just calm down and pay much more attention to what they're doing. They need to be more disciplined than that.
Hey, big question for my birdcage. You guys having fun tonight?
And this is kind of that craftiness that we've seen from Coach Carell, where he's not afraid to run the play on a 4th and 1. However, he also has those slight trick plays to kind of throw the defense off to get his guys open. He's done a great job today at being able to get his players open into that open field and just let them be able to move and be athletic and just make plays. That's exactly what we saw right now. He put his tight end in such a great position that all he had to do was just turn on the boosters on the outside corner and smoke the West Point defense. Special teams out here kicking the ball. And it looks like that will be another touchback. West Point will be taking it off of the 25.
Take over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
You know, I got a heck of a list of sponsors this season, so let's recognize a few more. How about Chick-fil-A? They're a proud meal supporter for the Firebirds.
And there's 4 minutes left in the second quarter. It has really just been true domination from Chaparral.
They're a new sponsor this season.
Defense did struggle a little bit at the start of the last drive there. There was some ray of hope for West Point. However, they were able to speak with their coach on a timeout, and they were able to stop them in the very next 4 plays. So again, like I've been saying all game, it appears that as long as they stay disciplined and keep their foot on the gas, they will be able to keep this lead. West Point has just been struggling to make anything happen. West Point back in the single back. It looks like they're going to pitch back out to a running back. He's having a great game. He cuts down the middle of the field, and he's breaking open to the open field, and he is caught. After about a 20-yard run, again, he's been very efficient this game. They've just been hitting him on those pitches and letting him just get into that open field and just making something happen, and every time he has. It will be 1st and 10 for West Point on their own 41. Lining back up, and I mean, after the series of plays, you would think they would just keep giving the ball to number 3. I mean, he's just been so efficient. He did have those 2 fumbles, however, he's been running very great ever since then, and they're going to drop back. The quarterback scrambling, makes 1 tackle miss, looking for somebody open, gets the throw. It's going to be about a 7-yard gain. Was able to kind of throw it right over that corner sitting in front of it. It looked like the corner had the ball covered, but just barely missed it. What a great throw by the quarterback there. Defensive end was right in his face. He was able to make him miss, roll out to the left, and get that ball out of his hands into his wide receivers and get a solid gain. It's going to be 2nd and 8 here for West Point on their own 49. And this is kind of what we've seen, that West Point is starting to get into a groove. It's just Chaparral has just been on their game today. However, there have been plays like that where they have been able to make something happen. Quarterback for West Point looking around, scanning the field. Hikes the ball. It looks like it's going to be a quarterback keep, however, met in the backfield. It looks like that tackle is going to be made by number 4. Again, another sack for him. Playing very well today. Was able to read that it was a run and immediately ran up to fill that gap. Met him in the backfield. Is now going to be 3rd and 4 for this next play. West Point really needs this 1st down. There's only 2 minutes left in the second quarter. And time is ticking. What we've seen from Chaparral today is that they have kept a 4 defensive man front. However, they do let those linebackers come down and either blitz or drop back into coverage. Throw right over the middle. However, great hit by the cornerback, number 24, breaking up that pass. It would have been about a 10-yard gain right over the middle. However, he was able to hit the wide receiver and break up that reception. There's going to be 4th down for West Point. Great defensive play by the cornerback there. making the play. There's going to be another timeout.
I don't need that hot therapy right now because I'm sitting.
Letting the defense recover, get some water, and Westpoint is going to be going over a play. It assumes that they're going to be going for it right here. Again, it is about 4th and 4, but being down 42, I think you kind of have to go for it at this point.
I see you.
And both coaches getting the chance to speak with their teams. They're going to be heading back out onto the field. Chaparral still on the defensive side. Westpoint 4th and 4. Seeing if they can make something happen. There is only a minute left in the second quarter. And it looks like they're going to be running double halfbacks in the backfield with the quarterback. Chaparral bringing up players onto the line. Special teams dropping back. Looks like they're going to be punting the ball back to Chaparral. The ball is caught. It looks like he's breaking some tackles going forward. However, he is scooped up and brought down by number 31 from the Westpoint. Great return of about 10 yards. Getting some yards, getting the Chaparral out of a bad spot in their own field position. Just getting the offense in a great chance to go out and possibly score another touchdown before the first half ends. And the offense will be coming out. They're going to be running a trips right from the spread formation, have a single back in the backfield. Quarterback making some adjustments with the coaches, calling it out to his team, letting them know where they need to be at, where they need to go. Scanning the field. And the running back is going to motion out to the left side into a slot. Quarterback drops back. He's looking for somebody open, scrambling, trying to find somebody. And it looks like he just cannot. He is taken down by number 51 from Westpoint. Able to come back into the game. If you remember previously, he did have an injury. He was down for a bit. However, good to see that he is healthy back in the game, making a big play for his team. Chaparral back on the ball, dropping back. The quarterback's rolling out to the right. Makes a throw. And it looks like he's going to be incomplete. Very close, so just a little bit too low for his wide receiver. It is going to be about 2nd and 18. Clock is winding down. Chaparral's going to try to keep that pace going forward.
And that'll bring us to halftime. We're going to score Chaparral 42.
And that will be the first half. Chaparral up 42-0. Just a beautiful and dominant performance from Chaparral. They have been clicking on the offensive, defensive, and special team side. Every aspect of the game today, they've just been clicking, and Coach Trace Carroll just doing a great job at keeping his team disciplined and trying to make all the correct plays, all the correct calls, and doing the best he can. All right, and we will be going to the halftime. Again, that was the end of the second quarter. Chaparral up 42-0 against Westpoint.
Parents, do you want me to get any footage during halftime?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the pride of Chaparral, the Firebird Marching Band. The band is under the leadership of Mrs. Jennifer Moreau, percussion by Mr. Sean Moreau. Tonight the band is excited for their first performance of part one of their show, White Rabbit. Now, under the field leadership of Senior Drum Major Aubrey Hoflick, the field is yours.
Now joining the Firebirds are 7th and 8th grade students from Desert Canyon and Gogopa Middle School. They will be playing Seven Nations Army by the White Stripes. Thank you to Miss Ashley Urban, a 2021 Chaparral graduate, and Mr. Andrew Myers for bringing out your students tonight. Big round of applause for the Chaparral Football Marching Band and the 8th grade students from Kickoff and Desert Canyon.
Ladies and gentlemen, next for your halftime entertainment, please welcome to the field the Chaparral Football.
Chaparral football fans, just remember that pom line you just saw. They won the state championship last year and the national championship. Big round of applause for Chaparral Football. You hear that great band down there? Well, now we've got the band 50-50 raffle. $58 million is the giveaway tonight. If you've got your 50-50 raffle tickets, get them ready. Number 675-487. 675-487 is the winning ticket number. Come on up to the press box and claim your $58.
And ladies and gentlemen, here we are back for that second half of Chaparral High School versus Westpoint High School. Just a quick recap of what's happened in the game. Chaparral is up 42-0. What we saw in the first half was a very dominant performance from Chaparral, really on both the offensive, defensive, and even the special team side of this game. They've been able to keep the ball out of the hands of Westpoint as much as possible, while also being able to pretty much stop every play that they've been wanting to do, and also run every play that they've been wanting to. Now this is where we're going to, in the second half, is where we will see the more strategic side of football will come out. Is Westpoint going to make any changes? How are they going to approach the second half of the game being down by so much? And is Chaparral going to stick to their game plan? Or will they maybe open up the playbook, maybe try a couple things since they're up so high and, you know, kind of test the waters and see where their team really is at? And those are all going to be very exciting things that we see for the rest of the second half. Now, Chaparral is going to be kicking off to Westpoint. They are lining it up. Once that ball is kicked, the third quarter is started, and we'll be entering the second half of this game. The ball is kicked. And once again, kicked out of the back of the end zone. It is going to be another touchback. Westpoint will be starting back on that 25-yard line. And now, starting in this second half is really where we're going to see if Chaparral's able to kind of hold that discipline that I've been talking about since the first half. See if they stay committed to that game plan, or like I said, maybe we'll see them open up the playbook, maybe try a couple new things. They do have a very substantial lead. We're going to see what goes on here. Looks like Westpoint is going back to that shotgun formation, and it's going to be a quarterback run out to the outside. However, he is met in the backfield. Oh, we see a little bit of pushing back and forth. Again, we don't want to see Chaparral become undisciplined in this play. There's no reason to get a penalty with being so high. And again, it looked like they were trying to run a quarterback sweep out to the outside. However, one of the linebackers was able to just dive past the blockers and catch the quarterback in the backfield. Looks like he was able to tumble back to the line of scrimmage. However, it's going to be 2nd and 10. We'll see Chaparral bring in a substitution into the D tackle position. Westpoint going to be starting with doubles on the right side. It's going to be a single running back in the backfield in the shotgun formation. Looks like they're going to bring it down to the running back. He is going to drive the ball down the middle for a couple yards. Offensive lineman pushing the pile. However, there's just too many red jerseys to get that first down. It is going to be about 3rd and 5 for Westpoint. Again, their running back has been very efficient. I would be honestly surprised if they didn't try to kind of change the game plan to stick to him a little bit more in this second half. Now, obviously, Chaparral hasn't been able to not stop the run. However, we have seen that be the most effective plays coming from Westpoint. They just haven't been able to get that pass game going. I think the best thing for them to do is try to run the ball as much as they can to hopefully open up some of the passing plays for them. They're going to be back in the trips bunch on the left-hand side. Quarterback scanning the field. Hiking the ball, dropping back, looking for a pass. He finds an open wide receiver. Is going to be for the first down. Great tackle by the safety. It looked like they ran a curl concept there. They had all their wide receivers run curls at different lengths of the field. The quarterback was able to scan the field, scramble a little bit, and find the open man. Now, the quarterback did just make a good play. However, he does look a little anxious in the pocket, which would make sense. In that first half, we did see that Chaparral was blitzing quite a bit, being able to get into the backfield and actually get the quarterback down a couple of times, making him feel very uncomfortable. That is also going to be another big thing that we see in this game, is that will the quarterback be able to keep his composure, or is he going to start rushing plays, making rush decisions, and hopefully not make mistakes? That is kind of what we're going to see here. So, pitch to the outside, the running back, he's going to cut it back up the field. However, he is met in the backfield, brought down at the line of scrimmage. Just a sea of red jerseys in that backfield. The O-line just struggling to hold anybody out of that backfield, not giving the running back any chance to get anywhere he needs to. And this is what I was saying. Although Westpoint has been very effective in the run game, they really haven't been able to get any big plays since that first 80-yard play they got that resulted in a fumble after being caught. They've been able to get 6 to 10 yards every now and again. However, when Chaparral brings more people into the box, the O-line just hasn't been able to deal with it. They're going to have a fullback and a running back in the bright. Motions out the fullback. Quick dump down to the plate. What a great tackle in the backfield by number 3. Read the fullback swinging out to the right side and came down guns blazing, being able to wrap up and roll the tight end down onto the floor. It's going to be a loss of 2. It's going to be 3rd and 12 here for Westpoint. Again, Chaparral looks like they're not going to let the foot off the pedal at all. It's playing very disciplined, being able to stop Westpoint, being able to make them lose yards, and even being able to stuff their running back in the backfield. Not looking like the start that Westpoint was looking for. However, like I've been saying all game, all they need is one little spark. And it looks like they're going to be back in that shotgun formation. Twins left with the fullback on the left-hand side, accompanying the running back in the backfield. Dropping back, the quarterback's looking for something. He drops up into the pocket, swings out left, and he throws a prayer in the sky. Just simply throwing the ball away into the outside of the field. And he took a big hit on that last play. And this is what I mean. The quarterback has been doing his best to make something happen, scrambling in the backfield, but the O-line has just been unable to hold back the Chaparral's defensive line, allowing just too many guys to be in the backfield. But you see that the quarterback is scrambling back and forth, shuffling the feet, trying to make something happen, just not having the correct amount of time to do so. Westpoint will be bringing out their punt team for this 4th down. It's going to be 4th and 12. They will be at their own 33, kicking the field back to Chaparral. And it's blocked by Chaparral. And they're going to go run and recover the ball.
Ball is blocked. Recovered by number 4.
And we're waiting for the signal. It should be a touchdown.
Luke Lang kicks it in for the Firebird. Touchdown.
What an amazing play. Westpoint trying to get the punt, trying to just get the ball out of their own territory. And Chaparral just able to get to the back, blowing up all the blockers and getting a punt block, actually. Able to stop the ball, and not only just that, but recover the ball as well for a touchdown. It is 48-0, Chaparral up, starting the quarter off strong, just able to block that punt, get the ball moving, and now they have their kicker lining up the field goal. He kicks the ball.
The extra point attempt is good.
And again, the field goal is going to be good. Just a dominant performance from the defensive end. Allowed West Point to get one first down, and then immediately was able to stop them. And not only stop them in the first 3 plays, but stop that punt from being kicked off and getting the offense in just a great position. And that is now 2 touchdowns that Chaparral's defense has been able to turn into points. 2 plays on the defensive side that they've turned into points. 2 touchdowns on the defensive side of the ball. Again, just Chaparral clicking on all cylinders. Now we're going to be wondering, how is West Point going to respond? They came out into the second quarter. They had the chance to kind of change the game plan, try to build some momentum, but immediately it seems like the game is going exactly how it was in that first half. They will be receiving the ball now. Waiting for that kick. It looks like the refs are speaking to the coaches, getting some things figured out. And it looks like special teams getting ready to kick that ball away. Kicker lining himself up. Moving forward for the kick. Launches the ball. And again, kicked out of the back of the end zone. Kicker just doing a great job today of just keeping that ball out of their hands.
Dragons take over first and 10.
He's pretty much been hitting the back of the end zone the entire game.
Let's recognize a couple more sponsors real quick. The Americana.
And again, this gives Westpoint at their own 20. It just gives Chaparral, the defensive side, such a great opportunity. Not allowing that kick returner to run forward and make any big plays to get their team excited can really just be draining for an offense, because now they're coming out to the same position every single time. The defense has a much bigger edge, and now the offense is now forced to try to make something happen in their own territory. Looks like they're going to run a bunch trips left on and the ball snapped. It looks like they're giving it to the running back, and he's going to be stopped at his own goal line. It looks like number 31 was the one to make the tackle and meet him at the line of scrimmage. Actually, it looks like it's going to be for a loss of yard. It's going to be a loss of 1 yard. It's going to be 2nd and 11 here. Chaparral's defense is doing everything that they need to make things happen. We see some signals being given by the coach. Chaparral making their adjustments. Westpoint stepping up. They're going to have that trips bunch left again. One running back in the backfield. Quarterback looking around, scanning the field. The ball is hiked. He drops back. He's going to pull up in the pocket. However, there's too many people. Fumble! And it's going to be recovered by Chaparral in the backfield. Quarterback tried to spin and make something happen. However, one of Chaparral's defenders was right there and made him lose the ball. It's going to be Chaparral's ball right there in the red zone already. Again, another great defensive play. This is going to be the 3rd fumble from Westpoint this game. And again, it just puts their defense in such a terrible position. Such a hard spot to deal with, especially since Chaparral's offense has just been unstoppable pretty much this entire game. And now they're already in the red zone thanks to their defense. Again, the West Point's O-line just struggling. The quarterback tried to make something happen and scramble, and there's already 3 guys in the backfield. Chaparral's quarterback looks like there's going to be trips left, motioning that running back to the left side. Uh-oh. And it looks like it'll be encroachment on the defense. Jumped a little too early. It's going to move the ball forward. It's now going to be 2nd and 5 for Chaparral. Again, still in that red zone. They're about the 13 now, with the opponent's 13. Still a chance for a first down. And it's going to be swing out throw to the left side. Make one defender miss, but was still pushed out of bounds. Avoided the tackle, but still got pushed out of bounds. Again, it looks like Chaparral has just been running a lot of quick game today, trying to make short passes, make correct reads, and just letting your athletic guys just get into the open field and make things happen. And it looks like they're going to hand off the ball. Number 6 goes down the middle. It's close, however, so he bounces out to the outside. It looks like he may be stopped at the 1 yard line. A great run. Saw nothing down the middle, kicked it out to the outside, and was able to make what looked like a loss of a play into a gain. And now it is 1st and goal for Chaparral. They're going to run that hurry-up offense. West Point's trying to get their defense organized. However, they can't. Hands off the ball to the running back right down the middle. It is another touchdown, completely untouched. Number 6, the running back for Chaparral, also having himself quite the game. He's been able to put some highlights into his reel, snatching some ankles, being able to read the gaps perfectly, and now he can add a touchdown onto his stats for tonight. Just a dominant performance. And it looks like the special teams is going to be coming out for that extra point. Lining up with the kicker, he kicks the ball.
Baker's extra point attempt is good.
And once again, it is good. This game is now 56-0. Chaparral. Just a dominant performance on that offensive side, and it's been nothing too crazy, you know. There's been nothing insane on the play call. It's been very short, quick passes, and a lot of real efficient running. Just letting your players be athletic and just show why they're the starting team, show why they're athletes. again, it seems like Coach Carell is not going to change from his game plan. He's going to keep it the same. He's going to stick to what he had planned for this team, and why would he change it? It seems to be working just as well in the first half, the second half as it did in the first half. That special teams is going to be coming out. There is 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Kicker running up, launches the ball once again. And it looks like Westpoint is... It looked like they receive it, but the play is going to be called dead.
Back to welcoming or appreciating some of our sponsors.
So they'll be taken at the 20-yard line, it seems.
A boutique law firm that serves individuals and families all throughout Arizona.
Again, there's been no spark from Westpoint at all throughout this game. They really need to make something happen in this drive.
Head to toe. How about Kierman Law?
Down 56-0, they really need to start pushing the pace to at least get some points on the board.
Rocket Protein, I see them as our sponsor year in.
However, like we have seen in the first half and this second half, the O-line once again struggling with the blitzes, not being able to protect the quarterback and give him really any time to make any passes.
Learning, executing their financial future.
And it also looks like Coach Brian Walker will not be straying away from his strategy either. He still wants to try to make the pass work. Quarterback scanning the field. Brings number 10 in motion to the left. Looks like he's going to hand off the ball. Jet sweep to the outside. He's going to break a couple ankles, stumble, and fall down to the floor. It's going to be about a gain of 9 yards. Great play. It's exactly what West Point needs, exactly what they're looking for. I think they need to run a couple more option plays like that could kind of confuse the defense and give their own athletes some chances to get into that open field and just make some play happen. And it looks like it is going to be a first down. They're going to move the chains. The ball is going to be moved to their own 44. It will now be 1st and 10 for West Point. And it looks like they're going to be running twins on both sides. Oh, never mind. They're going to be running twins left. They have an extra tight end running back in the back. Another motion. Jet sweep to the other side. However, met in the backfield for a big loss of yards. Number 51 broke through the O-line untouched, unblocked, and was able to catch that jet sweep before it could even reach the outside. Just making it look too easy. A huge loss of yards after that game. About a loss of 5. They're going to be 2nd and 15 right now. And correction, it was number 61 that made that play. The D tackle for Chaparral breaking through that back line, stopping that jet sweep before he could get momentum. He's going to run twins left again, single back in the backfield. Quarterback scanning the field, hikes the ball, quick screen to the outside. Ball is caught. Moves forward for about a gain of, it looks like they're going to call it 6 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 9 here. And the wide receiver is down. He was met with contact before he got out of bounds, wrapped and rolled around. However, he is still down on the floor. Athletic trainer is going to be taking a look at him. And again, we're going to be hoping that he is okay, that he's able to come up and relax on the sideline. Hopefully be able to make it back into this game. There will be an injury timeout. And thankfully, he was able to get up on his own accord, able to head further into the sideline where he could relax, take a couple plays off, and hopefully make it back into this game. Although it looks like it's nothing too serious, which is great to see. West Point will now be taking the ball. It'll be 3rd and 9 on their own 45. And again, it looks like we may see some quick game from West Point. Maybe some quick throwing, some quick runs. Just something to get the ball moving and not give Chaparral the chance to let their blitzing defenders get into the backfield. Quarterback dropping back. There's pressure on him. He steps into the pocket, throws. What a clean pass. And it looks like it's going to be thrown to number 4 of Westpoint for a gain of first and more. And what a great pass protection on that play. The O-line was able to form a perfect cone around. Oh, it looks like we do have a Westpoint player down. It looks like this time it is one of their linemen. We have the athletic trainer coming out again, hoping that he is okay. However, he is down on the floor. From what it looked like, he was limping. It might have something to do with his leg. Again, wishing the best for the Westpoint player. However, going over that last play, what we did see was that the O-line was actually able to contain and control Chaparral's D-line that time, and it allowed the quarterback to step up into the pocket, not have to panic, and be able to make a really great throw across the middle for a first down, and much more. Very great throw, really big game. This is exactly what Westpoint needs right now. And it looks like he will try to get up. He is getting up on his own accord, and he's going to walk himself off the field. Again, a great sign. It's always what we want to see. We never want to see anybody too injured to where they can't continue until they can't carry themselves off the field. Great to see that he's okay. And we have 55 seconds left in this third quarter. Westpoint is way up the field now. They're on Chaparral's 33-yard line, moving the ball pretty well right now. The O-line is holding up. They're going to send a man in motion. He's coming back to the left. It is going to be a handoff, jet sweep to the outside. However, just can't get there. Nowhere for him to run. He's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Chaparral just all over him. Again, it looked like on that play, the ball was hiked a little too slow. It kind of forced the wide receiver to have to slow down a little bit to grab the ball from the quarterback. Just, again, slight miscommunication, but something that small could really ruin the whole play. As we saw right now, the wide receiver couldn't gain any speed to get to the outside and got caught right at the line of scrimmage. And it looks like we're going to have twins left. There's going to be one running back in the backfield. Chaparral loading the box. Looks like they have 7 guys on the line right now. They're going to bring a blitz. Quarterback steps into the pocket, and he's running now. Slides. A little bit of a late hit from the defense, but it's not going to be called. And again, we see this quarterback really trying to put as much effort as he can, doing what he can with what he's given. There's going to be a gain of about 4 to 5 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 5, it appears. And there's going to be another timeout after that play. Oh, my apologies. That's the end of the quarter. We're entering the 4th quarter. However, what we see is the quarterback is really doing everything he can. He doesn't have very clean pockets. He's feeling pressure constantly, but from what I've seen, he's still very composed. He is starting to panic a little bit and worry about the defense getting to him for that sack. However, what I'm seeing in this last drive is that he's stepping up into the pocket. He's trying to find better gaps rather than running backwards. And he's finding open wide receivers. I just think he needs a little bit more time to really make something happen. Again, I really think that Westpoint needs to keep a running back there in the backfield just as extra blocking protection for that quarterback. Even if it's just a split second, we've seen that when a quarterback at least has 2 to 3 seconds to react, he's been able to make really great plays today. And we will be switching the ball down to the other side of the field. So Westpoint will still be in the opponent's about, I believe it is the 23-yard line. However, we will see right now.
Hey, football fans, just real quick, want to recognize our athletic trainers and physicians tonight. Athletic training and physician services for tonight's game are brought to you by Honor Health, the official sports
And the
medicine
clock is
provider
running.
for Scottsdale Unified School District Athletics. That's Honor Health.
All right, Chaparral making adjustments to the offense of Westpoint. Looks like they're running bunch left again. Quarterback drops back. He has some time. He steps into the pocket, makes a throw, and it is a laser down to his wide receiver. And it is going to be for a first down. And this is kind of what I've been talking about, is that when that quarterback for Westpoint has time to sit in the pocket and step up and make a throw, he's made the plays that he is expected to make. He hasn't been able to, it may not seem that he's been very productive on the stat line this game. However, he has been very efficient, and he has just been doing what he can with what he's given. And what we saw there was the line was able to give him that extra second. He stepped up into the pocket and threw a laser in between the defenders right to his wide receiver for a first down. And that's really what West Point wants to see from this point on. They have one quarter to try to get some points up on the board. They're running that trips left again. Chaparral's bringing in a blitz. Quarterback drops back, steps up, however, met with the defender this time. Too many defenders in the backfield for him to make anything happen this time. It is going to be a second and about 15. And again, just exactly what we've been talking about. When the O-line gives the quarterback time, he could do something. However, when there's three defenders in the backfield and he has to scramble and try to find a gap to break free, there's really not much he could do. His wide receivers are getting open. He just doesn't have the time to get the ball to them. Chaparral doing a great job with disguising the blitz, making it seem like they're bringing 6 guys and only bringing 4, trying to confuse the O-line. Once again, it looks like they're stacking the box. Bringing the blitz, quarterback steps up, throws the ball while falling, almost intercepted at the 1-yard line, just barely bounced out of his hands. However, the quarterback was going for a touchdown play right there, just a little bit underthrown. It looks like he stepped up, and as he was throwing, the defender was able to make him fall, kind of throwing the trajectory of the ball off. Again, Chaparral just doing a great job on the defensive side, getting people into the backfield and putting pressure on the quarterback. Exactly what we expected from Coach Carroll, doing a great job disguising that defense. And it looks like the play is being stopped. Looks like there is going to be a timeout. Both sides talking to their players. Again, Coach Carroll doing a great job at disguising that blitz. Him and the defensive coordinator just making it as difficult as possible on the West Point O-line. And it's been working. They haven't been able to make any adjustments, and they really haven't been able to stop people from getting into the backfield, and not just breaking up the pass plays, but the run plays as well. We're starting to see that West Point is trying to lean more into that passing game rather than keep running the ball. It looks like they are trying to change their scheme. However, Coach Carroll staying with his blitzing plan, trying to get at least 2 people in the backfield the whole game. It seems to be that's the goal, and they've honestly been able to hit it almost every single play. Chaparral's defense up on the field, waiting for West Point to come back to the ball. They're ready to go. And again, another thing that I have to give credit to Chaparral and Coach Carroll for is that they've done a great job at pushing that tempo, making West Point play at the tempo that they want them to play at. West Point hasn't been able to get their groove, and I really think that comes from Chaparral just being able to push the pace and make West Point have to play faster than what they're normally used to. With both the hurry-up offense and even bringing in those blitzes and the disguised blitzes against West Point, the O-line has to think and move much faster, and it's causing a lot of disruption in that backfield. And it looks like they're bringing the blitz again, but they drop back into coverage, throw the ball, and slightly missed. Just too short of a throw. That would have been a touchdown for West Point, their first of the night, but just underthrown too low by the wide receiver's feet. again, that's kind of one of those mistakes that I was talking about from the quarterback. He had the pocket, he had time to step up and throw it, but from when he saw a perceived blitz, he got nervous, he panicked just a little bit and tried to rush the play. Here you go again, lining it up. We have twins on both sides, one running back in the backfield, quarterback scanning the field, and they're bringing the blitz this time. There's people in the back for the quarterback's running. He takes off on the ball. It looks like he's going to run out of bounds. He's going to get to about the 15. So a great run, trying to make something happen. Just too many Chaparral players in the backfield. Too many red jerseys back there. He couldn't really set his feet and make a throw. Decided to run up and still pick up some yards. And it looks like it's going to be first down for Chaparral. That was Westpoint's 4th down. Chaparral coming out into that trips left formation. One running back in the backfield is kind of what they've been sticking to all game. Gets the ball, quarterback steps back. There is a flag on the play.
Penalty false start against the Firebirds.
It is going to be on the offense. The Chaparral is going to be an offside. It's going to push him back 5 yards. It will be first again and 15. And catches the ball, quick screens to the outside, letting the player get active, makes a couple guys miss, tries to stiff arm, but gets dragged down to the floor. Gain of about 8 yards. Well, it looks like they're going to call it for 10. It's about a gain of 10 yards. Great play. Again, sticking to that same scheme, Coach Corral. Quick throws. And it's going to be a handoff off the middle. And he's met in the backfield by number 15, it appears, was able to chop down the running back at the end of his run, meets him at the line of scrimmage, of a gain of about half a yard. Trips right, Coach Carroll trying to run the ball while also keeping the pass game very short and efficient, making the game just easy on the quarterback. They're going to send wide receiver into motion to the tight end, call the hot ball, run down the middle, and again, stuffed at the line of scrimmage. It looks like there's going to be no gain on the play. Stuck right there at the line of scrimmage. Great defensive set right here from Westpoint, being able to stop him. It looks like the special team for Chaparral is coming out. I believe it's the first time that we're seeing them punt this game. So Westpoint being able to get their first 3 and out, Chaparral being up 56. It looks like they are just going to punt the ball. It is 4th and 5 on their own 20. So we haven't really seen their punt team out here this game. So we're going to see what happens here. It looks like there's a miscommunication. One guy missing. They're going to line it up. And it looks like there's a timeout being called. And it looks like it's going to be a timeout by Chaparral right here. Coach Carroll wanted to talk to his guys. And it looks like someone was missing on the field. That was the reason for the timeout. Wanted to make sure that they had 11 guys out there on the field. Not wanting to give Westpoint any advantage to try to put some points on the board here at the end of the game. So we have 5 minutes left in the 4th quarter, and it is 56-0. Chaparral up. Coach Carroll doing a great job on keeping his team efficient, keeping them on the ball, and keeping them ready to go. Taking a timeout to get their heads right. Not wanting them to get too big-headed with the winning. Every down he wants 110%, and that's what he's trying to coach into them right now.
Over there, ready to give you whatever you need.
And again, that special teams unit is coming out for Chaparral. Looks like they will be punting the ball. Westpoint will be on the opposite side, waiting to receive the punt. Ball is snapped. Ball is kicked back. And it looks like Westpoint is not going to catch the ball. Chaparral is just going to let it roll. And they picked up the ball. Looks like the ball's going to be down at about the 40 or 38. My apologies. West Point's 38. Great punt. Put Chaparral's defense in a much better position. They're no longer backed up against their own end zone. They now have an opportunity to stop West Point and hopefully get their offense back up on the field. West Point, on the other hand, looking just to get some points on the board at this point. There's 5 minutes left in the game. Not much they could do to get back in and try to get that win. However, just get some points on the board, you know. Just make their offense feel good. Try to get something in rhythm and just make something happen towards the end of this game. Looks like they're going to run doubles on both sides. Quarterback drops back looking for somebody, steps up into the pocket, and just sacked once again by number 6, the running back for Chaparral. Also on the defensive side, blitzing and getting a sack. Not only has he been efficient on the offensive side and having a touchdown, he also just got a sack as well. And again, this is what we keep seeing from Coach Carroll. He's bringing in those blitzes and just making it difficult on West Point's quarterback because their O-line just hasn't been able to adjust. And there's been no one else in the backfield to block for him. He's just getting blitzed on every single play and just doesn't have any time to make something happen. Here we go again. It looks like they're going to be twins right with the tight end. Quarterback drops back, quicks out route to the tight end, makes somebody miss, and it looks like he gets back about 6 yards. It's going to be 3rd and about 9 here for West Point. Again, a quick little out route out to the tight end for a gain of 6. Again, just trying to make something happen here.
Let's have a big round of applause for all those other
Chaparral's defense just being too aggressive for West Point, just being unstoppable on that D-line. Once again, making adjustments is going to be twins right, tight end on the right-hand side for West Point. And it looks like there is a flag on the play.
The outsides against the Firebirds.
And it is going to be on Chaparral on the defensive side. It will now be 3rd and 4 for West Point. Much more reasonable 3rd down. Going back into that same formation. Quarterback looking around, gets the ball, drops back. DM in the backfield, however, the quarterback rips it out, and it is going to be incomplete. Just too great of coverage from that cornerback. Just couldn't squeeze the ball to that wide receiver's hands.
Number 29, Matthew Walker on the coverage.
Again, West Point just struggling to really make anything happen. Not only was there the defensive end right close to catching the quarterback, just the wide receiver couldn't get open enough to catch that pass. And it is going to be 4th and 4. It looks like they are going for it. Back in that same formation, twins right with the tight end offset. Quarterback gets the ball. Looks like he's going to run it down. And he gets the first down, spinning out of a couple of tackles, making people miss down the middle, being able to roll forward, rumble and tumble for that first down. Again, a quarterback doing everything he can to try to put his team in a winning position. However, it is just a little too late to make a win possible for his team. However, showing a massive amount of heart, trying to go out there and get as many yards as he can for his team. We have twins on each side. Quarterback scanning the field. Chaparral bringing 4 up. Quarterback steps like he trips. He catches his balance. He's trying to run up the field now. Gain of about 6 yards, it looks like. Taking a big hit on that play, but again, putting his all out there on the field for his team. Really doing his best. Again, there was Chaparral defenders right there in the background. He tried to scramble away to try to make a throw. However, he did lose his balance, decided to hold on to the ball, keep it up, and try to gain a couple of yards. Successfully was able to get about 6. It is 2nd and 4 for West Point. They have about a minute and a half left to try to make something happen, get some points up on the board. And they're going to do trips bunch right. We see that the quarterback is just gassed. Pitches the ball out to the running back. He's running forward. Looks like he's going to get a first down. Pushing that power forward, making people miss. And it is going to be first down. They are at their own 26. Getting close to that red zone. Just trying to push forward and maybe get a 7 up on the board. Back into the huddle. Westpoint lining up. It looks like they are going to run a trips bunch on the left. Single quarterback. Pitch out to the running back. However, met in the backfield, able to stiff arm someone, make some guys miss, and it looks like he may be able to get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe just short of it. Chaparral just reading the play and meeting the running back in the backfield. He was able to make a couple guys miss. However, there's just too many red jerseys once again in the backfield to let anything happen. And it looks like it is going to be a loss of a yard. It's going to be about 2nd and 11 for Westpoint. Chaparral just being too dominant. It looks like there will be another timeout. There's going to be 33 seconds left for Westpoint to at least try to get 6 on the board. Chaparral doing their best to not let that happen. We see Coach Carroll trying to keep his players disciplined. He doesn't want them to give up in these last 30 seconds. He wants them to play all the way through, and as he should. That's something we noticed that he's been trying to instill into this team to try to turn this team around compared to their last season. He wants them going hard to the ball, 110% every play. And that's kind of the effort that you usually want to see from your team. That effort is what leads to winning teams. Staying disciplined, staying humble, being true to the play, and not letting your opponent get a chance to find a spark. Coach Carroll trying to push out onto his players. See 4 front blitzing, somebody in the backfield. Quarterback makes a throw. It is caught, however, it is caught right at the line of scrimmage. About a gain of half a yard. Quarterback had too much pressure in the backfield. Tried to get the ball out to his check down tight end, rolling out to the right side. Again, the pass was completed, but he just couldn't get any yards. Just doesn't have the time to scan down his options down the field. And it looks like they are just going to let the time run down. However, there is a timeout from Westpoint. It looks like they're going to have time for about 1 more play. And I would assume with just 1 play left in the game, they're going to go for it all. They're going to try to make something happen, try to get 6 up on the board. It is now up to Chaparral to do their best to not let that happen. And that is exactly what we see that the coaches are trying to tell them, not to give up on this last play. To hold back Westpoint as much as they can. To truly cap off their just a dominant performance of what we saw tonight. And it looks like there's going to be 7 seconds back on the clock since when that timeout was called. Westpoint jogging back out onto the field. We could only assume that they're going to go for it all right here. Go for the big play. And it looks like they brought out the special teams unit. It looks like they're going to be going for a field goal here. Just try to get some points up on the board. Chaparral is going to be coming down into their special teams unit, trying to block the ball and not let it get past. Westpoint's O-line going to have to do their best here to just try to hold off Chaparral to hopefully get those 3 points. Ball's back. It's kicked. And it is going to be no good. There's going to be 1 second left on the clock. Westpoint couldn't make the kick, just barely missed it to the left, and that will be the end of this game. Chaparral winning pretty dominantly, 56-0, clicking on all cylinders. Offense being able to run any play that they really wanted, in the defense just being able to stop Westpoint from really getting anything started. Special teams also did their thing tonight, making every single field goal and not letting Westpoint's receiving team even really touch the ball to make a play happen. Again, just a dominant performance from Chaparral tonight. It was exactly what we expected from Coach Carroll. Really starting off hot on his first game, trying to turn this team around and show that the athletes are ready to be dominant this year and do their best. Hopefully push towards that winning season and hopefully get a chance at a championship game this year.